Howdy folks, so that is the Palacio Real, the Royal Palace of Madrid, Spain here. And then here we have the Cathedral. I guess that means, or stands for Nuestra SRA, is that Señorita maybe? I'm not sure, de la Almudena, right here. I guess the main cathedral of Madrid, or one of the main cathedrals. I'm just going off a map here. A partly cloudy day. It was actually fully clouded up here just a few minutes ago. That's the cloud system that just breezed through, and it actually sprinkled a little bit, just like a few scatterings of some big raindrops. The first rain that I've seen in my 3 weeks here in Portugal and Spain. And so I'm going to walk out this way, and while I'm cruising along here, some nice music there. Then I thought that I would make this a kind of random rambling about traveling video while documenting a little bit of Madrid here, but there's kind of these few big buildings and then some kind of long open spaces, and then I'll end up in a plaza, or like sort of plaza garden over there. So give you a little taste of Madrid again, and do a little talking in the process. So I'm going to do another video sometime soonish, kind of trying to encapsulate my life in a nutshell. I'm 44 years old, so there's a lot to tell because I've done a lot of traveling and a lot of stuff, so I'm not going to do that in this video here as far as trying to sort of squeeze the whole thing into this video, but just thought that I would kind of touch on a little bit of my life story and then just kind of talk about the traveling experience in general, as this is the second to the last day of my 6-month journey around the world here. I started from Portland, Oregon, back in February, late February of this year. Flew to Chiang Mai, Thailand, spent a month in Thailand, and then 2 weeks in Cambodia. Flew to Kathmandu, Nepal, spent 2 months in Nepal, trekking in the Himalayas and stuff, incredible adventures there. And then Greece, 6 weeks in Greece, mostly on the Greek islands other than Athens. And then flew to Amsterdam, spent 2.5 weeks in the Netherlands, flew to Portugal, and came by bus into Spain, spent 3 weeks total in Spain and Portugal. And then I'm flying to Portland, where I started this journey 6 months ago, day after tomorrow. So that kind of sums up this trip. This is the 11th international journey of mine. All of them have been extended trips of at least 3 months, up to like 8 months. And so I've spent in total, I think, I figured it out a couple days ago, like 51 months total of international traveling. That does not include my travels around the United States, or my going to Canada and working in Canada and whatnot. That is just international traveling over the course of the past 26 years, because my first trip abroad was the day after I turned 18. Then I flew to London, England, and spent a summer in Europe. But going back a little bit later than that, or a little bit earlier than that, then my travels began really when I was 8 years old. Summer of 1980, I was born in 1972. Then I had a trip planned with my aunt, my mom's sister, for the summer after, I think that was second grade. Yeah, second grade. In which we were going to go on this epic trip to all of these national parks all over the western United States. And so I was like super excited about that. But then there was an unexpected traveling surprise for me, which is that my other aunt, my dad's oldest sister, Martha, came through town because she was actually picking up her son in a small town near to the small town where I was raised, up in Northern California, north of the Bay Area. And so she came to visit my family, my mom and dad and my brother and I, on the land where we lived in Northern California, outside of the little town of Willits. I will be heading back to that area because my mom still lives in that area in another town nearby. I might do a tour of the land and the house where I was raised, because I was raised like a classic hippie upbringing out in the woods outside of this little town. And so my aunt came to visit and hung out for a couple days. I forget exactly, but in the course of it, she and my parents sort of hatched this plan. It was like a week and a half or something, 2 weeks maybe, before the end of the school year. So this was like June or something. And they thought, well, why don't you grab Gabe and take him with you back down to Los Angeles, because she lived in LA, where my parents were from originally, and take him on a little surprise adventure. And so they proposed this to me, and I was like, hell yeah, miss 2 weeks of school and get to go to LA and hang out with my cousin Nick. And so we left there and went and picked up my cousin, and then I went to Los Angeles and visited them and other family members, and then went out to where my grandparents lived in the desert outside of Bishop, which is like Eastern California. And then eventually I got myself back. I think my grandparents drove me back up to where I was from, and so that was the 2 week or so adventure before that other trip with my aunt, in which we then went on this big national park tour all over the West for 2 weeks as well. So that's kind of the beginning of my travels there. And then when I was 18, as I mentioned, then I went to Europe and had a summer in Europe, and so that was the beginning of my travels. Now, I'm somewhat averse to labels. And so I don't really like to categorize myself as I'm a traveler or anything else really, because I could, of course, finally stop somewhere and hang out, live somewhere more permanently. I'm not going to do this for the rest of my life, until I'm 75 or whatever. But obviously I had a general interest in traveling. I did tons and tons of reading when I was a kid, and I'm sure that had a lot to do with it, sparking my interest in seeing the world, reading about all these, real places around the world, and obviously fictional places in the various books that I read. Gave me a general interest in adventure and exploring and new, interesting, strange, weird places and all that kind of stuff. And so after I graduated from high school, then I went to one semester of community college and was just bored and not into it, and so I decided I was going to go to Europe. And so I found a job at an ice cream shop, saved up some money, sold my computer that I'd gotten for the community college that I went to there, and went off traveling. Now, as far as trying to kind of capture sort of what the travel experience is really like beyond edited videos that just kind of give you a little snapshot of things, then it's certainly hard to put into words, really be able to truly get the idea across of what it is actually like. Here I am in this city that I've only been in for less than a day, new place. Fortunately, I speak the tiniest little bit of Spanish, and so that does help, but it is an unfamiliar place, but it certainly changes you a lot when you travel, as I have, to different places around the world, and get used to the concept of different people and different cultures and different architecture and landscapes and all that. Then it becomes more of a normal, you could say, thing to see places that are different. But still, it definitely never becomes, you know, here I am in a new country, so what, whatever, it's pretty much the same. There's always that sort of culture shock when you arrive in a new place of, you know, I spent 2 months in Nepal and then I get to Greece, and it's like a whole, you know, I have to kind of recalibrate myself and readjust to, even though I'd been to Greece twice before, all of a sudden it's different people, it's a different language, it's different ways of doing things, you know, ordering at restaurants and trying to find places and all this. And so it is certainly a kind of never-ending journey, and I don't know where this one ends, other than that day after tomorrow I fly back to Oregon, and I'm glad to finally get back home, because 6 months is a long time to be traveling, and I'm definitely looking forward to reacquainting with some familiar places. So I'm going to end this video here. Nice little garden here, but just a little sort of traveling ramble. See ya.